welcome back to Empire Total War 2 with this Polish-Lithuanian campaign. Last time around, we smited the Prussians and the Ottomans, so Hungary is under our control, although it looks like I'm gonna have to sit in the Hungarian capital for quite a while before we can move on. The Hungarians are quite unhappy being thrown back and forth in between the different powers. What we have today, though, is we need to deal with the Prussians. And my idea is to attack Berlin. Now, I do have... Now, there's a different possibility. And that is to actually strike Dresden, Saxony, and destroy the Prussian force completely. So instead of going for the capital. I should mention here also, the Prussians have actually asked for white peace in between the turns here as I was marching up on Berlin. The reason why I would go after Saxony is because completely wiping out the Prussian army and then threatening Berlin, I could possibly force the Prussians to become my vassal. And by taking Saxony, I could kind of leave Saxony, and the Saxons as a nation might actually rise again and take over that. And I would sort of, you know, it would splinter the Germans further. But, I mean, the easiest choice here would to be go after Berlin. The thing about the Prussians is, once again, I'm pretty sure they would dig in, similar to what they did in the last battle, and I have not really been able to fully replenish the army. So it might be better just to go ahead and take Berlin, give it back in a peace treaty with the Prussians, hopefully extort some kind of tribute out of them as part of the deal, and then split these two forces, split the two general into even forces, where in which one will head up north to deal with the Swedes, and one will head south to support Potocki and his army, and try and see if we can take bigger control of the Balkan area and start dealing with the Ottomans, as we will have more or less neutered the Prussians the same way we did with the Austrians. So far the Austrians haven't really seemed like they have any thought of going after me. The thing is also, I need to cancel out as many wars as possible so I can actually start building on my own country. Like, we need to, you know, rebuild ports, and the Silesian region is completely burned to a crisp. Same, I want to build up this one so it's actually, you know, profitable to control this region. And same with a lot of other of my regions. Like, these constant wars isn't really paying off. But then again, it wasn't. I haven't started a single war as of yet, have I? I don't think so. I think they have declared war on me constantly from all sides. With that said, we're gonna go ahead and march up to Berlin. Oh, would you look at that? I am actually getting the army from Saxony is actually coming up to support here. So we got about 3,000 defending Berlin, and they're gonna be reinforced by 6,000 troops. The good thing here is, of course, that this force, the bigger force, won't be dug in, and the secondary force is a lot weaker. Huh. In this, I will destroy all of the Prussians, though. So depending on how many men I have after going after Berlin, I should go directly to Saxony and actually destroy them completely. My idea wasn't really to destroy the Prussians completely, but looking at the situation here, this is most likely what we're gonna have to do. The thing to keep in mind now is that the bigger part of the enemy force is gonna come up as reinforcements, and they're gonna come basically behind us. So we'll have to keep that in mind as we prepare to fight this battle. The enemy is completely without artillery support, and also the reinforcements coming in from over here. I thought they were going to come in sort of to the side behind me. That's why I deployed my cannons like this. There wasn't really good artillery ground, and I wasn't going to put them up here because that could have been too close. So I put them all the way back here. Luckily for me, it looks like the enemy is actually advancing upon me. But, you know, it looks very much like I'm corner camping here. But the thing is, I need to save as many men out of my army as possible. So we're gonna try and fight it this way. The enemy, of course, abandoned their defensive position. I don't think they actually even dug in. I don't see anything. So I don't think even they dug in. The thing is though, since they can only have 20 units on the same time on the map, and you know the reinforcement army has 40, so there will be a ton of troops that will trickle in like this, basically forever during this battle. So it'll be a very long battle, but I think at a certain point where, I mean, this is going to be the first attack, and then maybe there'll be a second attack and a third, so I'll try to divide it that way so we don't have this like forever battle that this gonna come down to. One thing though that I really want to make sure is that none of the reinforcement units, which now seem to be gathering up right here, none of them actually make it out back to Dresden, because that would be a monumental failure. We want to destroy all of them, so none of them defend Saxony, and then I could completely wipe out the Prussians. Currently all the batteries are firing on this. I'm a little bit worried that this guy will get too close and then the cannons will start to fire up through each other here. And I think we're gonna switch to canister now. And then these two might fire on this guy, and then the last gun, I guess you'll continue to fire round shot as they're not really close for canister yet. But the two closest I feel like could definitely be firing canister. And then we can wheel up 3 regiments to attack them this way. Also kind of want to see if I can trigger these guys to join in this attack. I've got the light cavalry, one of the smaller units here. I only have 48 men left. I'm gonna swing that around and see if I can get the enemy to join in the attack. This unit right here, it's kind of surprised they're still holding on. They're lost 175 men, actually more. They've lost 200 men at this point. The canister is really ripping them apart here. Actually, can I get canister firing towards the center there? And then maybe you can switch to canister as well. We can see about spraying the advancing army with canister. Right, we're positioning more and more troops going through here. Enemy general. I thought maybe one of the guys back here died, but no, it seems like this guy right here died. I'm gonna send out the cavalry. I'm gonna see if we can trigger these guys, so we can drag all of them into battle. It might actually be prudent here to switch the canisters to fire upon the troops that are closing in closer to the cannons. The canister don't seem as useful as in other mods, but the thing is, the units are a lot bigger in this, and they're also marching a lot tighter. So I do think that, as we see here, the cannons are most definitely doing quite a bit of damage. Right, the cavalry unit, yeah, it's out there already. He managed to get this Anhalten unit triggered, and it seems like at least some of the units here are spooked by him. We lost 4 there. They probably shot more of their own, to the point where this unit that lost 45 men due to friendly fire. This, oh god, look at that. The amount of canister that is blasting these guys. Absolutely destroy them. Gonna continue focusing, firing that way. Cavalry's coming back. Now obviously these guys are kind of without a good flank, so I'm gonna order forward a few troops. What is this? Oh, it's pikes. Pikes that they've decided to charge. At this point, pikes are not really useful, and I would say at this point they've very much lost their merit, especially against my veteran troops. So I don't see them making any headway through there. Although we do have quite a bit of troops attacking here. We're gonna send the line in different directions, right? These 2 guns firing on the guards. I don't think we can hit these, so everyone focus in on the Prussian guards coming in. Well, it looks like some of them have rallied. I managed to trigger a lot of them into moving into the attack. But they're not really having enough men to do a proper attack on us. Although that Hakebusier attack seemed to have killed a lot of the 11th Regiment, which at this point has lost close to 70 men. If I'd known they'd attacked like this, I would have probably spread out the canister and we would more have some sort of half circle. I'd probably taken up units up onto the hills and stuff like that. Well, they're putting down spikes. That I don't like. Squad of urban militia. They look very fancy. I don't like them setting up spikes there. I should get my hussars out of the way. Swing around, because eventually they're gonna have to come around and charge down all these idiots. General and staff attacking those units over there. 3 reserve units can be placed behind the cannons, and then these 3 can kind of be placed over there. We're not really doing a lot of damage to the Hakebusiers, but they decided, you know what, we're gonna actually close in. Okay, so I'll have to go around the spikes. They're not super dangerous in the way that they've placed them, because my cavalry can definitely go around and attack the enemy. So it's not that big of a deal. You can fire towards the pikemen, then you fire over there. You can fire for those, and you fire up the flank. The 1st garrison regiment actually go after the engineer team. These are being killed by the light troops. Oh, I ordered you to attack, did I? These units are... This entire area is kind of a mess. You're gonna Go ahead and pull those guys back. And then I'm gonna take these and draw the lines like that. Right. Reformed arquebusiers have to be reformed all the way out of here. Right, so we've got pikes. Damn, look at what the canisters have done here. There isn't much of any excitement to the battle. Like most of the enemy is not really concentrating the troops in a way that has me worried at all. And currently my canisters are absolutely annihilating them. But I do think, since I don't really know which units here, I should kind of try and follow after. A lot of Prussian units will probably be making it back to. No, I don't even need reserves over here. I can go extend the line so that these idiots over here can't keep moving around us, and then probably extend the line so that we control the forest. We don't have to fight through the forest. So yeah, about killing the reformed arquebusiers first, and then following the charge into the militia unit. I'll have all of these advance. Important here as we pursue the militia, that we don't pursue them all the way to the spikes. Ooh, I stopped them just in time there. But we still make sure that they don't come back. Okay, so now I want to concentrate all the batteries towards the troops coming that way. These are troops that we don't want to return. They made it through the spikes. Let's go after them. I think, though, just by firing canister at them, we might be able to completely devastate these guys. Maybe extend these smaller regiments a little bit. Be able to produce a little bit of fire there. This is really going to be just a ceremonial escort regiment. And there goes the two generals. Oof, the canister absolutely blast them. Still decide he's going to attack. One thing that I do like here, you can see the rest of the cannon crews are actually continuing to load the cannons. If this was Napoleon, the entire crew would have just like, oh, now we have to fight them. This little unit, I think, if I can concentrate fire on him, there's not going to be anyone left in it. There's 16 left, and yeah, now there's 4. Oh, I completely forgot about this unit. There's a lot of units running about. Let's continue to chase them down. With that, the first of the enemy's assaults has really been sent away. Gonna advance here a little bit. And then these are gonna join the line over here. And the winged hussar is gonna move all the way out here. I'm gonna be chasing around. Oh, Trabant Guard. We got caught on by nasty unit. I don't think we'll stand that one. So let's return to the main line. And with that, the first attack has been dispelled. Now we're waiting for the second one. The second attack is about to come in. However, it looks like I tried to get them to attack me, or like provoke them into attack. But as you can see, quite a lot of them are still staying put back here. So I'm thinking, because I'd probably almost gone through most of the reinforcements come through here. So I think we might activate the hussars to go in. Just want to go ahead and break down a little bit of these troops. And then as they retreat through the rest, that could cause a chain effect. Nick's lights are the first ones out of the line that they react a little bit to the enemy oncoming. No, now, let's see, now they're coming on, right. We do not have to send in the hussars just yet. Even though I think they are within effective range of the canister, I do like the look of cannonballs bouncing through the enemy lines more, as it's more spectacular and visual. So there we go. Now, you know what? I'll have to, I think I'll have to send them in anyways, because they're going after my guns, and I have sent away the troops that were meant to reinforce behind the guns. Let's see. We should get one hell of a spread of canister going through the advancing troops. They're sending the general. Oh, there goes the general. There goes the neighborhood. Fire on this. Fire on this. You will also fire on this, and then you can fire on this. I do have these three. And I have the generals and this one unit. You know what, let's speed that up a little bit. And then you guys walk that back a little bit. Make it easier for... Here comes the second barrage of canister going through. As of yet, the enemy has yet to open fire in a meaningful way. Jesus Christ, their regiment got murdered. Absolutely murdered by the batteries. Very few casualties on the batteries so far. Right, time to turn the hussar attack. Luckily for me, the enemy stops to fire at the cannons rather than continuing through. They just stand there, taking the fire from the batteries. Getting absolutely murdered. Alright, here comes the hussars. What I'm going to do is I think we'll order the units from the back, like this, ordered into the attack. And here they all come. The hussars. As there's a risk now, I want all the guns to focus in on this mess, while the hussars work on breaking this part down over here. we try not to mess up too many of our troops here. The Prussians here are in complete retreat, which I can understand, because the canister has completely devastated these guys. You know what? These guys are charging right at you. Unfortunately, I have no guns to spare. I was a little bit late on that. Why don't you fix bayonets? And charge in and get rid of the Prussians that are left. And then the hussars that are left will turn to this. And in terms of the guns, are still operational. We'll order to hold fire. Or even with that attack, they're actually still operating the guns. Oh, did I order you in? I guess I ordered all... I guess I selected all the cavalry there. Alright, the Prussian Flintlock Regiment destroyed. Hussars destroy the rest. Chasing down the troops here. That's what I can see. There's no reinforcements coming in. So it looks like the 8th Regiment of the enemy over here is the last one that holds on. Otherwise, it looks like I won the battle. Which, on the surface, right now anyways, seems to have been very painless in terms of just how much the enemy outnumbered me. And there we go, we are victorious. Here's the result of the battle. The enemy deployed a whopping 9,000 men, where they lost 8,370. I deployed 6,000, lost about 1,000. So I have 5,000 men left, while the enemy has 714. Absolute devastation. I do think we're going to see the cannons up in the top with a combined kill score of almost 4,000 enemies. So the cannons were really the kings of this battle, where they absolutely slaughtered the enemy. There's not a lot of battles where I've had the cannons make such a decisive role in the battle. Like, it seems to be shifting a lot. In some battles, we have, you know, the light infantry ending up on the top of the list. In some, as in this one, the cannons end up. Normally they don't. And then cavalry is usually the ones that end up on top. And I like it, that the fact that it's very varied in between the battles. Oftentimes when I play other ones, you can sort of tell in between the different battles which unit's always going to land on top. One thing that I did note, let's see if I can even see it here. I don't think I can see it. Well, let's go through the list here. Lost. So yeah, there's one infantry regiment, which is the 2nd Infantry Regiment, which only had 11 men remaining. Now, this isn't because the enemy inflicted this big damage on it. And as you saw in the end, I sent forwards a number of regiments, told them to fix bayonets and send them forwards. One of them ended up in the middle of all the hussars, and basically the entire regiment got trampled to death by our own horses. So the 2nd Regiment of Infantry basically annihilated by our own troops, basically rode over it. So yeah, not great, but then again, we just took Berlin. Berlin is under my control. We have a huge university, which will be setting to good work right away. I think we should probably do some of these technologies, work on some of these to actually get that working. Rather than go for more military, as I already have so much on military. Although at the same time I do want all of these done so that we can progress to the next area. So I think I need all of these rather than before we go further, because right now I cannot. Well, now I don't have the money. It seems like I do have the requirements to build a 2nd barracks, which would be wonderful. Since we have the Prussians in our grasps, I am going to continue our success and go directly to attack here. Of course, they're not going to accept a surrender, but I feel like I could probably just run them over with the hussars. I'm tempted to auto-resolve just to get it over quickly, but I'm thinking I can run over most of this by just sending in the cavalry. They'll have to run the gauntlet though, as there's tons of mortar batteries to bombard them. But let's go ahead right now and get rid of the Prussians completely, or at least for now. For once, the enemy has actually been quite clever with the position of their troops, although it's not intentional, as they normally go ahead and deploy in towns. This time it does play into their favor though, because of the fact that they've got mortars. My cannons have no real line of sight to fire at them, so I'll have to pick and choose kind of which house to try and break down to the point where they can kind of see a way through. But so far that has not really worked in my favor. So instead what we've had to do is attack with the cavalry. And for now, that seems to be working. Although we could probably have used some infantry support. But I am going through here. We haven't done as well as I would have hoped with our cavalry charge, but it's definitely going forward, if I have to say something. Let's try break through here. Problem is, of course, the cavalry charge is not going to go too well in through among the houses. What's group fighting unit? Got small spears. Let's see if we can't get rid of that one commander. Oh, they did rally. I was worried that I was gonna have to turn back and go after them. Let's see if I can't get the commander, and then we'll see all of this breaking down. Oh, they didn't actually... Oh, there we go. Now they've broken down quite a few houses. Now they might actually be able to fire through and fire on these mortars. Look at that. The general is gone. And we kind of got a mass rout going on here in the center. And the unit that rallied is also breaking. And we can see that most of all of it has, you know, broken down here. So I will actually go ahead and declare the battle a victory. There's no way they're gonna win. There's no way they're gonna break down my hussars. And even if they do, I've got about 4,000 men of infantry ready to march down and completely burn this village to smithereens, if it were so. It might have taken a little bit longer since I played this battle myself. However, I probably saved a few units for the outer assault. Now, one that I didn't save was one of the lighter guard units, which died. They only had to start with 12 riders, so that unit unfortunately is gone. But the rest was dealt with by the hussars. And so we have all the winged hussars up in the top here, followed by all the cavalry, followed by cannons. And then, of course, the kills are distributed among the other units. So it's really only the cavalry who kills in this battle. And with that, we have captured Saxony, but not only that, we have destroyed Prussia. Now the thing is, I do think it's very unlikely that we'll hold on to Prussia and Saxony in extension. But having, you know, dealt with our enemies as we have now, we can go and focus on other things, namely the Swedes and the Ottomans, and showing the Germans what we can do to them. I think we will hopefully hold the Austrians in check. Now we gained a port, so I could, for a few turns here, actually set up quite a bit of trade agreements. What? They offer payment, they demand military access. fine, but I wanted trade. I wanted trade? Oh, what was that? Military alliance! Why did I was too quick to accept that. With military alliance with Bavaria. Bavaria is at war with United Province. Okay, so that's not a huge thing, but imagine that you accidentally... Okay, they haven't seen no benefit. Georgia, do you see benefit? No. Candyman, do you see benefit? He see benefit. In Westphalia, surely you see benefits of trade. And there is no one else to trade with. These trade agreements, not only do they bring in money, but they give friendly relations with these nations. So that's good, because I don't want any more enemies on my border than I already have. So hopefully we can, you know, avoid going into war with any more of these smaller shit German states. I want to continue war against the Ottomans. I want to continue war against the Swedes. Now, the Austrians, very unhappy. Minus 87. Which is probably the one that is most hostile towards me besides the Ottoman Empire. Sweden's only a little bit unfriendly. And then... Wait, attitude toward me, why is Bavaria all the way down here? Dagestan doesn't like me. I don't know why. What have I done to you, Dagestan? They're protectorate of Georgia. I could probably, if I'd done the other way around and gone for Saxony first, I could maybe have forced the Prussians to become my vassal. But that would be for some another time, I guess, another playthrough. But what we have now is we have peace for a lot of areas, and we do not have like an active area where the enemy is moving forward. So I could probably take a few turns here to gather my strength, reorganize, build up a lot of areas. As soon as these two break free again, which undoubtedly they will, I will go ahead and make sure that we get peace with both the emerging Prussian state and the emergent Saxon state as we go along here. But other than that, for the next one, I'm hoping that I'm ready to advance on the Ottomans and retake Livonia from the Swedes. And that's about it. So, with that said, I will say as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for